It's CDS Radio, your girl Soul Fab here. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Happy Wednesday.
It is officially Healing Wednesdays. Yes, that's right.
Yes.
No other than the healing consultant is in the building.
Yes.
You guys know what it is. And you know, every other Wednesday we are here. We're officially kicking off our second season of Healing Wednesdays. And I couldn't be more excited than what I am now.
Me too.
You know,
Yes.
the fact that you are back.
I am back.
Let's start there. The fact that you are back, the fact that you are continually educating people when it comes to the CBD world, and the fact that, you know, we're having fun while we're doing it.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Welcome back for a second season.
Yes. Education is fun.
So, how have you been?
I've been wonderful.
Awesome.
Wonderful. How about you?
I cannot complain. Not in the least bit.
There's no reason to.
There's no reason to complain.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, if you don't like it, then do something about it.
Hello.
Hello. Same thing.
And you know what I did?
Yes.
When I didn't want to be with a coworker this past weekend, I got my CBD drops.
Yes. Yes. Take a holiday.
Hello.
Yes. Set your intention. Set your mood.
Didn't we talk about that last season?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
And we'll talk about it again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because that's what it's about.
So, for those of you who are just joining us, who might not be familiar with our Healing Wednesdays, once again, we have Miss Spencer. She's our healing consultant. She is telling you guys all about CBD and debunking some of those myths. One of the myths that we're going to get into, or even just one of the questions that people had, is CBD in the workplace.
Yes.
A lot of people are hesitant. You know, one of the questions that we had last season essentially was, you know, being mindful about how to travel with CBD. Mm-hmm. So now this go round, we're talking about how to function in your day-to-day with CBD, especially when people don't know all the information surrounding around it, you know, and typically think, oh, CBD, weed, we have to fire you.
Yes, not the same thing.
And that is not the same thing.
Not the same thing. So, you know, I don't know how many times I say not the same thing. No, because first of all, we're talking about two different plants. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, we're talking about the cannabis plant, and then we're talking about a hemp plant. You know, we've always said, you know, they're cousins. You know,
absolutely.
They're not identical twins because they're not the same plant.
Absolutely.
And we'll go back through this. I mean, the truth is that cannabis, yes, has a large THC dominant presence, and hemp is the exact opposite. It has an incredibly large amount of CBD, not THC, and that is the beginning thing that we have to we have to understand and kind of digest.
Right.
Is that first and foremost, they're not the same plant. They're not. And you know, in the workplace, it's especially important that people understand the difference between the two. Because I always get asked the question of testing. And, you know, if I use CBD, you know, what will I test positive? Well, no, not if you use a very high quality CBD.
Right.
That's why I always stress, know what's in your CBD. When you buy, whomever you buy from, know what's in it.
Absolutely.
Know what's in it, how it's grown, because we're not talking just CBD. We're talking about the toxins.
Absolutely.
You know, that can be in your CBD or your cannabis, whichever one you prefer. But in the workplace, CBD, no, you're not going to test positive on a cannabis test.
And I think that's where people are confused, or where they're worried, because, you know, some jobs still do require testing.
Absolutely.
You know. Yeah. And with that, you know, people are like, well, I'm using CBD, whether it's for my anxiety, depression, you know, whatever have you, aches, pains. Yes. I don't want to use this, especially since there is this one show, it's called All American Homecoming, where an athlete in particular, she was using this salve or this lotion, and she came up positive for THC. And, she was like, I don't even remember. I don't smoke. I don't ingest. I don't do any of this stuff. But she was using it and rubbing it in her skin almost every single or twice a day, something like that. And then when the test came out positive, it was like, wait, what? So I think the misconception of that, and then the fear of, if I get tested, am I going to get fired? When, people seem to think that CBD and THC are the same. And like you said, it's two different plants, two different things. And it's not going to show up for a cannabis test.
Correct. But now, this is the thing, and this is the confusing part. There was a lot of confusing parts and a lot of moving parts. But one of the things that that I think we have to kind of ingest and try to understand is that since there's no federal regulation for any of this, we have to. It's up to the consumer, unfortunately, to try to navigate through this. And in the workplace, I always tell people, well, whatever it is you ingest, it can say CBD. It can say that. But unless you truly, unless they have like a QR code or something where you can look, where they have independent testing so that you know exactly what's in that package of gummies that you're receiving, then it's a crapshoot. I'm going to be honest,
right?
Because we're talking real talk,
absolutely,
and we're talking people's employment,
absolutely.
So that's the truth,
absolutely.
And that's what that's one of my biggest advice is that as a consumer, you have to educate yourself. You have a duty to educate yourself in what you're ingesting. And just because the pack says that it's CBD doesn't mean, unless they can prove it, doesn't mean it is.
Right. So you could potentially get yourself in trouble because you don't know what the ingredients are.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a good thing to note, that just because you're hearing right here on the show, oh, CBD is not the same and you'll be fine, if you don't know exactly what are in those gummies or, in whatever supplement you may be taking, you could potentially have THC in any of those supplements and it can show up.
And you not know it.
And we're not liable. So
yeah, we are not liable.
We are not liable. The only way we'll tell you you'll be okay is if you buy your products directly from the healing consultant at thehealingconsultant.com.
I can't speak for everybody. I cannot speak for everybody, and we are not liable. No, ma'am.
Right.
Don't come see me about something that you've taken. Yeah,
exactly. And that's something that was stressed last season. Of you have to be mindful of what is in. First of all, you should be mindful anyway of what it is that you're putting in your body, especially something like a CBD substance, because you can go to any of these shops, buy something, and then they'll say, oh, it has a very small amount of THC, or it doesn't have much THC at all. But I think, as you mentioned, sometimes they don't know.
Yes. And it's not federally regulated. And so they have no obligation to tell you that.
There we go. Another pointer.
Yes, they have no obligation to tell you that. Absolutely not. Because that's not the name of their game. The name of their game is we're being honest and we're doing real talk, is to sell.
Yeah.
So that is what that is.
Right. They just want to make their quota, for the day. Yes. Understandably so. But what you don't want to do is, like I said, take the advice that you have gotten from Ms. Spencer, which is, CBD would not show up on a cannabis test when you don't know what exactly is in the CBD that you're ingesting or, inhaling or whatever have you. So be very mindful and know that if you are going to take CBD and you know that you are in a workplace that tests regularly, or even just tests in general, because you never know, it could be a pop-up situation, you are in safe hands when you purchase from the healing consultant. She is the only person that is going to stand behind her product and say, hey, like she knows for a fact what is in there. You can know what is in your product. So you are in safer hands with her than with any of these little, I guess, smoke shops or CBD shops or whatever it is you want to call them.
Yes. Whatever. And that's always been the thing. That's always from the beginning, is to provide a safe product for consumer, for anyone to use. We always say that I did this for the demographics of women over 40 who were busy and
Mm-hmm.
who needed to just, just have a pause just for a second, and with everything coming at you all the time, every day, all day. And so the products were used and made with the intention of that,
Mm-hmm.
with the intention of having a balanced effect. Not and that's what it was all about, because that's what I needed.
Right.
And that's what I needed at the time. At the time that I was doing this, and I still do.
Absolutely.
I still do. And it was never the intention um, to have these high levels of THC and have some mood altering
Mm-hmm.
effect. That was the exact opposite of what I needed and wanted to get through my day.
Absolutely.
And so it was, the products were cultivated with that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and only that in mind, to be honest. So the CBD gummies and the drops, because I love the drops.
Absolutely. I do too.
Yeah, for the work, for working, because it's just, I do, a drop or two in the morning, with my coffee or tea as I'm running out the door, and it's just balanced. That's it. It's not. It's nothing but that. And as I said, check. There's a QR code that comes with everything you buy
Mm-hmm.
from me. Anything you purchase from me comes with a QR code. Scan that QR code. It tells you everything that is in that gummy or in that drop.
Yes.
It's the CBD quality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love that you mentioned that it's not mood altering.
No.
Because that's the one thing that people are hesitant of, where once again, you may be using CBD just to help with your anxiety, mood swings, paranoia, anything like that, to
Yes.
where you just want to feel calm. But depending on what you're ingesting, you don't know what effects you'll get. You don't know if it's going to be an
Absolutely.
upper, downer, or whatever have
Yes.
you. Whereas your product, it's specifically meant just to realign yourself, but you
Yes.
still feel like yourself. You're still able to operate in the workplace, which some people may, that's why they're typically against anything like this, because it's just like, you won't be able to do your job. We all know, don't operate heavy machinery
Absolutely.
with,
Absolutely.
certain pills and prescriptions and things
Absolutely.
like that. So this would be something along the same lines
Yes.
of where, if I'm an employer, you're ingesting something where you don't know what the ingredients are,
Mhm.
and you've completely turned into like this sloth, or you're running all over the place, you're giggling. I don't want you in charge of anything either.
Absolutely.
So with
Absolutely not.
these products, once again,
Yes.
thehealingconsultant.com, they
Yes.
are not mood altering. You still feel like yourself. And I can attest, as someone who takes the drops,
Yes.
regularly, especially for anxiety, or when I know that I'm going to be in a high stressful situation,
Yes.
I will take my drops in the morning, and I still feel like myself, but I just don't feel I don't feel it necessary to entertain things, or to jump, or to feel like I need to lash out. It's just like, okay. So anyway.
Yeah. I mean, could not react to
yes,
everything.
react. Exactly. Exactly.
Not react to everything that comes at you
Exactly.
every day, all day, because that's depleting in and of itself.
Absolutely.
That's depleting in and of itself. And we wonder, oh my God, why is it at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon? We are done.
Right.
It's like you can stick a fork in us.
Right.
We are done.
Absolutely.
And you're like, I've had enough of this.
And enough of you.
I've had enough. So, one of us is going to have to back up off this. So,
exactly.
I'm thinking it's going to be me, because I don't want that. And
right.
so, for people, that's not something that they can entertain in their everyday work lives.
Absolutely.
That's just not something they can entertain.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not, because we are talking about, let's be honest. I mean, if we're going to be completely honest about our everyday work lives, we don't want to feel that way.
Right.
We don't want that.
Right.
And I always say, if you're looking for a high, I'm not that person.
There you go.
I'm not that person. Of course, I can always educate you on cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what this is about. It's not about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's about
Exactly.
getting through your work day. It's about getting through every day. That's
Exactly.
what it's about.
And I think that that's a good point to make
It
because
is.
sometimes people use certain things for escapism, where
Yes.
this is not your product, isn't for escapism. It's
No.
for you to feel still like yourself, but
Yeah.
get through the day,
Yeah.
and there's nothing worse than not feeling like you. Nobody wants to go to work with their heart racing, or feeling tired. And they're just like, what's going on? I can't get through my day because of whatever it is that I took in an effort to try to get myself to calm down. And as you said, not react. But now I completely feel like somebody different. I'm panicking. Even though you think you're going to die, you're not going to die.
You're not. You're not.
We've established that.
Yes. We've had that talk. We've had that talk.
You're not going to die. But it's just that simple fact of, like you said, just you're still you. You can get through your day.
Yeah. You're absolutely. There's no alteration in you.
Absolutely.
There's no change
Absolutely.
in you.
So we are going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about having the important conversation with your employer, because we do know sometimes they'll be like, I don't know. So how to get them on board, how to get them to understand that this is something that is, it's not habit forming, number one.
No.
And then it's also not mood altering, changing anything like that. And then it's not cannabis.
It is not cannabis. It is derived from a hemp plant.
So we are going to talk about that coming up in just a second. So stick right here. It's TDS Radio, our voice, our culture. It's TDS Radio. Your girl Soul Fab here with the healing consultant herself.
Yes, yes, yes.
Did you know on Healing Wednesday we have to talk like this?
Do.
We don't want to startle anyone.
No.
But with that being said, we were having our conversation centered around CBD in the workplace. And we know that there's a lot of misconception there.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially educating yourself.
Absolutely.
Being sure about what it is that you're putting in your body.
Absolutely.
Because I know what you've heard here. I'm going to state it again because sometimes people do not listen. Do not go to these little smoke shops and grab some CBD and say, well, Miss Spencer said it's not going to show up, because you don't know what are in those products. Now we have someone sitting here.
Yes. Let's reiterate that.
Yes.
You do not know.
You don't know. So you very well could ingest whatever it is that they're giving you. You get, surprise drug tested, and boom, now you're fired because there's THC in your system. Yes. She is not saying that for all CBD products, only for her CBD.
I'm not that. No, I'm not taking that one on. Right. Ain't me. Wasn't me.
I know that's right.
Wasn't me.
If you would like to take CBD in the workplace and it not show up on a test, and
let's be responsible.
Yes, be responsible.
Let's be responsible consumers.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because
nobody can make, because I am not going to make these these grandiose charges of, oh my God, if you take CBD you'll never know. I'm not going to say that.
I know that's right.
No, it's not me. You at the wrong place.
Hello.
Yes. Thank thee.
And good evening.
And yes, you at the wrong place. I'm not that woman for you.
I know that's right.
So let's get that clear.
Hello.
Let's be clear about that.
Very clear.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't want to hear Miss Varnar said, or Miss Spencer said, or the healing consultant said.
No,
back it on up.
Back it up. Pump the brakes. No.
I know that's right. So let's clear that. No. Absolutely. We have it on tape.
No.
So now that we have that out the way, it's getting your employer on board, because that's going to be a bigger conversation, because it was for me. When I was traveling and, I brought out my drops to put in my water bottle, the first thing I heard was, what are you taking? Mm-hmm. So then now you got to go into this whole spiel of, I'm taking the CBD drops. This is for my anxiety. This is not, it does not have THC in it, blah, blah, blah. You can scan, you can see the ingredients. And then they're like, oh, but in the back of their mind, you're still seeing their wheels turn of like, you're getting high.
Yeah. Well, and, did you scan your product?
I told her to scan, but did she scan now? No,
okay.
I don't think she scanned.
Because that's important.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Mm-hmm.
It's so difficult because, it has been a huge PR job on marijuana and cannabis, period.
Right.
That, started, we'll have to do a history class one time, but started, in the 1920s, late 1920s, early 1930s. And that campaign of, the war on drugs and marijuana it was one of the best PR campaigns I think that all of us have ever seen in our lives. Mm-hmm. And so everyone associates CBD, CBD with marijuana.
Right.
To them, it's all the same.
It's all the same. Mm-hmm.
And it's only through education of your employers, of people, of your colleagues.
Right.
And because that's how it's going to start. I mean, it started already. And I think that, states are catching up to it. And I know that the federal government will catch up to it too. Mm-hmm. But educating between the two plants.
Right.
That's a biggie.
Mm-hmm.
And B, educating your colleagues as well as your immediate, employee and supervisor, or because it's not going to do the things that are associated with and I have to reiterate this, you have to check your CBD source,
right,
and you have to, you have to do some investigation on your own.
Absolutely.
If you're going to ingest
Absolutely.
anything, you have to.
Absolutely.
You have to.
You have to,
Yes.
which is why I'm always going to say, get your
Yes.
product from the healing consultant
Thank you.
because all the research is done for you.
Thank you.
And like you said, then we have a QR code that can be scanned. So at any
Yes.
point, if your employer coworkers feel like, oh, I'm going to go tell, scan it for yourself.
Absolutely.
It's all there for you.
Absolutely.
Because like you said, there is that misconception of if it's CBD, it must be marijuana. Oh, you must be getting high. Yeah. Oh, we can't have that in the workplace. And then before you know it, emails are coming down from HR. There's a huge meeting. Like,
yeah, I mean, you don't want that.
Right.
I mean, nobody wants that.
No.
You don't want to go to your workplace high.
No.
I don't know anybody who does. Because we are all we're all working people. We are all trying to make a living, whatever Absolutely. That is, and whatever aspect of employment that we have.
Right.
I don't think any of us want to go high.
Responsible adults.
Yeah. Well, okay. we'll back that one up too. And we'll say we'll back that up too. And say responsible adults.
Some of these Walmart workers, I'm like, woo.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay.
Just walking past you.
Yeah. I got Yes. So yes. As I said, you better talk to me like you mean it.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. Because I mean, seriously, that's
right.
I think that's what we're all missing here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's through educating yourself, and therefore being able to educate others
right.
about CBD that it begins to happen, that things begin to happen.
Right.
Because I don't know, like I said, I don't know of anyone any responsible adult
right.
who wants to go to work high.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to mess up your good thing if it is a good thing.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you're trying to do.
So, and this is what I need people to understand. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're not telling you what to do here. We're telling you to be responsible.
Yes.
And what I want everyone to understand is that we want you to go into the workplace and not feel don't feel so anxious.
Yes.
That's what this product is for. Because I think sometimes people are looking for something. What that something is, we can't tell you what it is you're looking for. All we can do is tell you what her product does, and it doesn't get you high.
Yes, and that's a much bigger picture.
Yes,
because that's therapy and psychiatrists, and that's not my jam.
Right.
And that's a completely different subject. So that's not what we're trying to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when you are going into your workplace and you're, going with your CBD, and like I said, these are for the people who want to go into the workplace. They want to use, the Healing Consultants product that just calms them down, helps them get through their day, does not make them high, it's not mood altering, it's not any of those things. These are the conversations that you can have. As Ms. Spencer said, she's only advocating for her product. She cannot speak for others.
Yes.
So do not go to any of these shops, pick up CBD and think that, oh, well, I can say, or, this isn't going to do right.
Yes,
no.
On TDS radio.
Exactly.
No. On Healing Wednesdays,
no. This is specifically for the people who want to normalize the Healing Consultants product in the workplace.
Yes.
Yeah,
and come up with, and their recommendations.
Right.
And I always have to say that to people, their recommendations, because each person's body is different.
Mm-hmm.
Each person reacts to things differently. Yes, it's organic. Yes, it's natural. Yes. But I mean, my God.
Right.
We can react to, any one person can react differently to anything.
Exactly.
These are it's recommendations.
Exactly.
But again, it goes back to you being able to know yourself, know your body. This is a journey. This is a beginning journey. And this is what you're doing to help yourself.
Right.
To help you help yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. And what we mentioned off air, and I believe I said to you, where if you are unsure, and you might be trying the product for the first time, I always tell, what I always do is I'll always try something on the weekend.
Absolutely.
because you don't know. You don't know what type of reaction. You don't know if you're allergic. You don't know any of that. So try products on the weekend. And then once you feel like, okay, I'm good, I got a good handle on this, then start to incorporate it. But then now first of all, you know how you can tolerate it. You've done your research. You're seeing what is and what isn't in the product.
Yes.
And you're ready to have the conversations for the just in case. If somebody comes up to you and says, well, what's that? Well, why are you taking? I mean, nobody should be asking you any type of questions like that.
No.
But we do know sometimes people.
That's a whole different journey.
Right.
Yes, that's a whole different other journey. Yes.
Exactly. It's a violation.
Yes. But maybe you need to be going to HR.
Exactly.
About something else.
Exactly. But we know some of these employers will ask questions. Coworkers are very nosy, so just equip yourself for the just in case. And the more you know, the more people can't combat.
Absolutely. And the recommendation for anything, is low and slow. No matter, but that's anything. That's anything that you ingest.
Absolutely.
And their recommendations. Because I think, as we all know, it's there's no one that can prescribe or subscribe cannabis. Or anything, cannabis, CBD, THC, none of. I mean, and it's recommended. They're all recommendations,
right?
We talk about how products come to be, and I mean, for CBD, for hemp products, we talk about the Farm Act of 2018. I mean, and that's what they all fall up under. And that's the truth,
right?
So products have to be, I feel that they have to be responsibly farmed and responsibly grown, and people have to responsibly take, ingest whatever it is, that they
once again
intake.
This show is for the responsible adult.
Absolutely. We've talked about, this is responsible, grown, and sexy, folks.
Exactly.
That's what this is.
If you are irresponsible and you just do not care, this is not the show for you.
Yeah, we're not your people.
Yes.
We are not your tribe.
And that is totally okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
That is totally okay.
It's absolutely okay. It is, and that's the beauty part of it, right? Is that it is absolutely okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is, this ain't your party, though.
Hello and good evening. Hello and good evening.
This is not your party, and that's okay.
It's totally fine.
That's okay.
It's totally fine.
This is because I'm not doing that.
No. No, and that's why we want to make it very clear. And we're actually going to take one last break, and then we're going to come back and we are going to wrap up everything that we talked about. And like I said, give you some pointers, because nobody should be asking you questions, but just to equip you just in case.
Yes.
This is what we would advise you to say if you are using the Healing Consultants product.
Yes.
Any other product, do not take our advice.
Yes. I can't help you.
So that is that. And we will be right back. Keep it locked right here. It's TDS Radio, our voice, our culture. It's TDS Radio, your girl Soul Fab here, as well as the healing consultant, Miss Spencer.
Yes.
And we are going to just do a quick recap, essentially, of what we talked about today. Because all about today was CBD in the workplace.
Yes.
And making sure that you are equipped, to have the conversation, because we do know people will ask.
If that conversation comes up.
Exactly.
Yes.
If the conversation comes up,
And
make
if
sure
you
that
want
you're
to
equipped.
share.
There you go. That's the important
Okay.
part. That's the important
I mean,
part.
I think that needs to be said.
Absolutely.
That's if you want to share. You
Absolutely.
don't have to share.
Not
sharing is
least
not
bit.
caring all the time. I'm just saying.
Girl, you better say it again.
I'm just saying.
You better
Sharing is
say
not
it
caring
again.
all the time.
And sometimes people don't understand that, which I think is a good point.
Yes.
There is no obligation to explain yourself,
No,
especially
no.
in, our big age of what we are, but just in case someone feels like they need to go run and, explain anything to HR, or they have concerns, air quotes or whatever, having the right, verbal skills to be able to combat any concerns.
Absolutely.
And with your product, because once again, we're only advocating for the products on thehealingconsultant.com. It's having that QR code for them to be able to look up, the ingredients that are in whatever it is that you're taking, whether it's the gummies or the CBD oil or, the roll-on, but having that QR code, as well as equipping and knowing the knowledge yourself of CBD and marijuana are not the same.
Yes.
They are not.
And I have blogs. I have a blog. And if you follow me on Instagram, I have
Hello. Let me get that. Let me get that
CBD.
Up. Hey, now. Let me go ahead and throw that up there. Boom.
Boom. Boom. The Healing Consultant CBD. You will find, I have every day, I have little tidbits of information that are posted every day. And I have a blog on thehealingconsultant.com. I have a blog, and I try to answer a lot of the questions that people have about CBD, about what the benefits of it, how it works with the endocannabinoid system, the ECS system that your body. I mean, that's a system that works in your body, and how it works with, and how we talk about dopamine receptors, serotonin receptors. So we get more in depth about CBD.
Yes, ma'am.
On both the blogs, on the website, The Healing Consultant, as well as my Instagram posts, so that you can read little tidbits and little nuggets of information, and it doesn't have to be this long, drawn out thing, and it doesn't have to be all this information coming at you.
Exactly.
And you don't have the ability to process it, or you can't process it now, because for most people, they can't process a whole bunch of information at one time.
Absolutely.
40, 50 minutes of it.
Absolutely.
But they can pick and choose, and they can choose when they decide to read things and when they don't, and how they wish to ingest that information. And so I've tried my darndest to answer questions and continue to answer questions.
Absolutely.
And be fair, be honest with those answers. And I think that's what everyone needs. I mean, it's just, not sugarcoating.
Absolutely.
I mean, just don't sugarcoat shit. I mean, just,
I know that's right.
Just, I mean,
I know.
That's it. I think that's just it.
I'm so here for you.
I mean, can you just stop it?
Exactly.
Stop the madness.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think that will be one thing to really help all of you if you feel like you have to have this conversation in the workplace, or tell people it's none of their business.
It isn't.
Because let me tell you something, when people be out here with that booger sugar, we don't know. Yes. That's your business.
Yes, it's your business.
That is your business. So if I decide to use my CBD drops in my water and my coffee in the morning to get me through the day, or to help me deal with the likes of you, that is my business. So I think that's actually a good place to start. Number one, it's your business. You don't have to explain anything.
Yeah. No is a complete sentence.
Boom. Boom.
I mean, if you're feeling particularly, friendly that morning, you can say, no, thank you.
Exactly.
I mean, You know, if you're
Sprinkle
feeling
that
if you're feeling in a good mood, you can say no, thank you,
Exactly.
or you can, no means no. No is a complete sentence.
Yes. Absolutely.
It really is.
Absolutely. So do not feel obligated to answer anyone's questions.
No.
But if you feel, you're in a situation where it would make you feel better just to educate people so they can leave you alone, I would even direct them to the healingconsultant.com. This is where I got my product from. So you guys, you can look it up. You can ask questions to Miss Spencer, whatever have you. You can investigate it, but you have nothing to hide because once again, they are not the same. They're
yes.
not. Two completely different things.
And we do know that, we live in the state of North Carolina.
Hello.
And the state of North Carolina, CBD, well, as long as it has to have less than 0.0%, 3% of THC.
Boom.
That's the law.
Boom. There you go.
That's it.
There you go. Case closed.
I mean, yeah.
Tell them to
Case
leave
closed,
you alone.
Yeah. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you don't even have to say that.
Right.
Like I said, no means no. No is a complete sentence.
Absolutely.
Like I said, if you're feeling generous, you can say no, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Because you don't have to engage.
And how about this? For anyone who is in your business, once again, lead them to the healingconsultant.com and tell them that they need to use the product so they can stay out of your business. Go relax.
Yes. They need to help themselves, sounds like.
Hello. Yes. Which brings us to your 10-day trial box.
Yes, it does.
So can you let everyone know a little bit about that?
Yes. Yes. We've talked about the 10-day trial box is a box full of 2 of our drops. It has 10-day supply of the Delta 8 and the CBD gummies. And it has our salve in it for all those, those local aches and pains. And it also has the roll-on. Yes, which, we've already talked about Coach loves. So it also has that too. But it is a try box. It is the ability, you can have this kind of pick and choose. You can try the drops, you can try the gummies. You can, if you have some local pain, you can do both the salve and the roll-on. See what you like, see what you don't like, see how you feel about things. And it's a 10-day supply. And it's just a good way to introduce, and that's what I would say. It's just it's an introduction. It's an introduction for people.
Boom.
Yes.
Boom.
And then like I said, you can play. You can and it also comes, of course, with a recommendations, and kind of card with it. So I give some nice little guidelines and recommendations on how to use the products. And I also put in, of course, a link to the Healing Consultant so that you can read at your will the blogs and, just ingest how you want to incorporate any or all products into your life, into your lifestyle, into your journey.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. And it's easy, as you guys can see below. Yes. If you would like to try the 10-day trial box, you just go to thehealingconsultant.com. And you can also see some of the products displayed behind our very own Healing Consultant.
Yes.
Just so you can see that these are some of the products that you will get in your 10-day trial box. But like you said, it's just an entryway to get in, try what it is that you like, what you don't like. I can also say for the roll-on, for the ladies out there who are still dealing with cramps, the roll-on helps tremendously. Now, don't go crazy, but put a little bit in your pelvic area, or if you're having back pains. Don't
go too south. I'm just saying. That's a whole completely different show we're having coming up with intimacy, but don't go south.
We do not want your hospital bill.
No.
No. Just a little bit near your pelvic line. And then, of course, if you get, back pains from cramps, it's always a good idea to put them on your lower back like I do. And it helps so much. I'm somebody who's heavily dependent on 800 milligram ibuprofen for my cramps. So I've actually started easing off of that and using the roll-on, So
Wonderful.
try that out. And once again,
Yes.
try out the gummies, try out
Yes.
the CBD drops,
Yes.
try out the tea, just
Yes.
give it a try.
Yes.
The only way you can do that is by going to thehealingconsultant.com.
And also the salve. Now the salve has some, some properties that really help with moisturizing.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a segment, of course, on
I cannot wait.
intimacy.
I cannot wait.
You can incorporate that. Yes. Now it's a whole different subject, and then I have to bring out that sexy voice. I have to bring it down.
Y'all heard it here first.
Bring it down. Yes, that's a whole different other thing. But we're not there yet. We're talking about in the workplace.
We're talking about the workplace. But for those of you who faithfully tune in and who watch, just know that we have some exciting things in store for season 2. And like I said, these are all components to help you, to help your life, your day-to-day. So today is all about the workplace. As Ms. Spencer mentioned, we're going to talk about intimacy, because her products you very well can use, on or with your partner. So we're going to talk about that. So make sure you guys keep it, locked right here, because we will have that conversation pretty soon. And of course, and if you have questions surrounding it, go ahead.
Because we know what massage therapy, can do.
Baby,
with some decreased pain.
Hello.
Girl.
We are also not responsible for any children that are made in the process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But that would definitely be a talk to me like you mean it day. That whole show would be talk to me like you mean it. Don't play with me, boy.
That's right. So when y'all are ready to have adult conversations about
That's
CBD,
an adult conversation.
we will be here, here on TDS Radio.
Mm-hmm.
So Ms. Spencer, before we get out of here, once again, let everyone know how they can find you, and how they can follow you.
Absolutely. You can find me at thehealingconsultant.com and Instagram. Don't make me laugh, woman. The Instagram, The Healing Consultant CBD. Please, by all means. And if you have any questions, you can truly email me at vspencer@thehealingconsultant.com. And I will get back with you. And of course, you can always, if you have any questions, you can always also go to TDS Radio.
Boom,
right
there.
Because we'll answer. We can answer them on air.
Them. Absolutely.
There is no question that you cannot ask us.
There we go.
That I will not answer.
So for all of you little freaks.
Yeah. And I will say, if I don't know, I don't know. Go. I'll get back with you on it.
Exactly. Hello. So we're all about transparency here.
Absolutely.
We're all about being candid, truthful, doing our research. So, and it's a comfortable environment. So as she mentioned, if you have any questions, let us know. We will be more than happy to, answer them here. You can even submit them anonymously. You do not have to let us know what your name is, but go ahead, get your questions answered right here. TDS Radio, Healing Wednesdays. And we'll be back the week after next, right?
Yeah, we will.
You so ready for this intimacy one?
Yes. Well, we talked about that, right? Coach is laughing at me. I can't. Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Everyone, gotta bring it down. Gotta bring it down. Y'all know when I get quiet, that's what it sounds like.
Y'all have a good evening.
Yes,
it is Healing Wednesdays on TDS Radio.